So this webinar today is about how to connect Etsy and Facebook shopping. Facebook shopping is not just Facebook, it's also Instagram. And Etsy is the online platform to sell handmade stuff. And first of all, this webinar will be recorded. So if you don't see everything, or there is a step that you miss, I will send a recording then afterwards so you can rewatch it. For questions, at the end we have a Q&A session. Then if any questions come up, just ask them at the end. Of course, you can use the chat while I present, and I will try to answer all your questions. So shortly about me, here picture without glasses. I'm Sirio. I help people and businesses with passion to grow. And this presentation will also be sent with the recording. So if you have any questions afterwards or you need help with something, just contact me. For this webinar, I'm assuming that you have an Etsy shop and you have a Facebook or Instagram account. Because that's what it basically is about. It's how to connect that Etsy shop to your Facebook and Instagram account. And by connecting, we don't just mean click on something, but it means actually having all your items from Etsy also available on Facebook and Instagram. If you don't have an Etsy shop, the things that I will teach will also be interesting. Something to mention. For Etsy, it's a bit special because there are no existing integrations for that, at least not yet. And for example, if you have a Shopify store, Shopify has an automatic integration to Facebook and Instagram. But basically, every time you have maybe a special shop like Etsy, this will help you. And of course, also the information about the Facebook shopping in general will be interesting. And what I'm trying to say is, if this kind of topics interest you, just follow us on YouTube and LinkedIn. After this webinar, we will be posting more informational tutorials and so on YouTube. So please follow us there and see you there. For today, this is the agenda. So first we'll talk about Facebook shopping. Then I'll do a live step-by-step guide how to actually connect your Etsy store. Then we also, as I said before, there is no existing software. Well, now there is. We also made a software to automatically synchronize your items from Etsy to Facebook. And at the end, we can have a Q&A session. So if you have any questions, just ask them there. So what is Facebook shopping? Basically, it's like a shop, but on Facebook and Instagram. It's a storefront. So it's not really a shop. A shop means you manage your items, you manage the stock quantities, and so on. You manage the orders. Facebook is more like a storefront for your shop. So people can look at the items. They can basically buy them also on Facebook, but you don't use Facebook for managing the orders. That's very important to differentiate. There is also one big difference. If you live in the US, it's possible also that your users, your followers on social media, that they can directly pay in Facebook for the items. For the rest of the world, probably because of other reasons, it's not possible yet. But we can connect it, and people will be then forwarded to your Etsy shop. And what is also, it's just a lot a better user experience for your followers, and why you should use it. So what does Facebook shopping enable you to do? Basically, as you can see on the left, this here, for example, this is a tag. These are normal tags of people that you might be familiar with. But if you have Facebook shopping, you can actually tag products within your picture, within your video. And if someone clicks on this, then they get forwarded directly to this product and they can buy it if they want it. So basically, it's a way to bring your shop and products closer to your social media followers. Because if you think about it, usually, for example, on Instagram, You only have that one link in your profile, in your bio description, and that's it. And as you might know, not so many people click on that. And with this integration with Facebook Shopping, it's a lot easier to get your social media followers to your products and actually basically show them that you have them. But we will look also at a real life example then afterwards. And it's free, so why not use it? It's basically more free reach, so you should always use this. Now, if we get to the more technical stuff and the steps to do to be able to use the Facebook shop, basically it's done in 3 steps, now specifically for Etsy. First of all, you have to create a shop in Facebook. Then you have to verify that you own your Etsy shop, and then you can add your products. And now I will show exactly these steps live. So let's go here to business.facebook.com. And the first step is, as we said, to create basically the shop, which you can do by clicking here on Commerce. And then here on Add Account. And this is basically now your storefront for Instagram and Facebook. This is then quite simple, then just click on Next. This is very important for Etsy. You have to choose the first one. As you can see, this is what I talked about, checkout with Facebook or Instagram, but this is only for US companies. As you can see here, only available for US-based businesses. Checkout with messaging, this depends how you want to handle your orders, but basically, if you have an Etsy shop, I think we all know it's better that that the people buy it through Etsy, because we need to push our Etsy shop, get more reviews, more sales there, to also increase the reach on Etsy side. So choose the first one here, click on Next. Now in this case, you would have to choose your account. In this case, we already have a shop for all the accounts, so I can't create it. But basically, how it will look like is I will change now to another account where we already have the shop. And as you can see here now, we have this commerce account. Now let's start from scratch again. So business.facebook.com. And if we, for example, go to this example here, this is one of our customers. And click on commerce. Then we can see here, our lovely bag is approved for a shop on Instagram and Facebook. If we click here on shops, we can actually see it. It's active on Instagram and Facebook. So this was the first step to create the storefront. Now, this is a special step that is only required for Etsy, but also basically if you would have your own website, this step is also required, which is basically to verify that you are the owner of that shop. And here in Etsy, if you're in the shop manager, you can go under settings, Facebook shops, and they have here this tutorial how to do it. But basically the more complex part is in Facebook. So let's start again from scratch. Let's go to business.facebook.com and switch to the account that you want to verify. So usually probably you only have one. Of course, if you're an agency or a consultant, you will also manage multiple ones. Just click to the right one. Then, and this is the part where the recording will be very handy. Then you have to go to settings. Then more business settings. And then in here, we have this group called brand safety and then domains. And this is now here where we can add the domain of Etsy to verify that we are the owner of the shop. Now it gets a bit complicated though, because if we open Etsy in a normal way, we go to the shop, then this is the shop URL, right? But if you try to add this here, if we add this here, create new domain, and this won't work because we are trying to verify the Etsy domain, which does not work. Now this is a trick or something that Etsy basically allowed us to do, but you have to know it, is you can write your shop name and then .etsy.com. So basically your shop name on Etsy is a subdomain. Just write it like this. And if we add this now, as you can see, it worked. It's not verified yet because, of course, we have to do the verification here on Etsy side also. So let's switch again, settings, Facebook shops. And as you can see here, it says paste your code below to connect your shop. And basically we have to copy this code and paste it in here. And then we say connect. Okay, here it worked. Now here, back to Facebook, click on verify domain. And as I said, I know I'm doing it very fast, and you will get the recording. Also, we will make a separate video on YouTube, just how to do this step. So then you can really go through the video and go through it step by step with me. But now basically it's done. Now we verified that we own this shop on Etsy. Okay, which means if we go back here, we created the shop, we verified Etsy, and now we can actually start adding the items. For this, let's start from scratch again, business.facebook.com. And if we go, for example, in the existing shop, and then again, commerce. So basically, when we talk about Facebook shopping, you always want to go into the commerce section. And in here, then we have the items. As you can see, here we already have a lot of items. We could also add them manually. So if we say here, add one item, then we can basically add the image, add the title, description, the link. And here, important again, we verified that we have the domain shopname.etsy.com. And same thing here, if I would just take, for example, if I would just take the link of this listing here, this does not work. Facebook will tell you this is not allowed because, again, we are using the Etsy domain. So again, what we have to do is, instead of writing it like this, we add our shop name. And you can copy the URL, we can test it, but this also works. So, and this is very important. If you don't do this way, it won't work. So just copy the URL, but then change this part here and write your shop name. And then the usual stuff. So the currency, the price, and so on. So let me check the chat. Any questions so far? Okay. Now, as you could see, the last step, basically, when you add your items, basically what you have to do is add the same information that you have on Etsy. And well, if you only have a few items, just do it manually because it's a one-time job. But of course, usually if you have a bigger shop, and if you have 100 of items or 50 items, it's a lot of effort and a lot of work. And also, if you then change something on Etsy, you have to change it as well on Facebook. So what we did is we created a software for this. and I will show you one thing here. If we go back to the Commerce Manager, in here you can also use data sources. And in this case, for example, here we are already using the integration, and you can use also an Excel file. So if we go here to settings, you can see here that we have this Excel file that we can upload. You can also do it here again manually, add multiple items, and then you can see the different possibilities. Of course, manually fill it in automatically, or use a spreadsheet, for example. The first time I used this, I looked at this, but the problem is that this Excel file also has a very weird template. So Facebook has a template, but it's very weird. So I'll show you how it looks like. So if we go back to data sources, then here, settings, and this basically is the file. So if we have a look at it, this is the structure. No human being can create an Excel with exactly this structure. So as I said, what we did is we created a software, and basically what it does, I'll just show it quickly. Basically, you just have to register, you add your shop with the shop name, and then the system automatically generates this Excel file here that you then can add into your Facebook shopping account, and that's it. And then the items are automatically synchronized. Basically, what happens once a day, the Excel file is synchronized, and then Facebook as well once a day synchronizes your items. But this means you save all the work to add the items one by one manually, and you save the work of keeping them updated. So and here also, we also added a video at the start page. So in this video, basically, I also explain again how to use the software, very detailed. So just have a look at this video. And it costs 100 euros a year. And if you're interested, just go to beserious.dev. You will also get it, of course, in the email. But that's it. I'll stop pitching it. Now let's go back to the interesting part. Basically, that was it. If you have any questions, now is the time. I will enable the Q&A mode, so you can just start asking away. So the questions can be about anything that we just saw. Just shoot away. Use the opportunity to ask. Okay, for now there are no questions. Okay, doesn't seem like we will get any questions. Then I would say thank you for being here. As I said, all this information will be also sent by mail, the recording plus the presentation. And as I said, just follow us on YouTube and so on. There we will bring out more content like this. Yes? Just type the question in the chat. Okay, just a second. So do I have to create a Facebook and Insta page? Yes. So this basically connects to your Facebook and Instagram page. Maybe I can show you another example. Just give me a second. So I'll share my screen again. So here we're on Facebook. This is a Facebook page of the shop that we also saw before. And in here then, as you can see in the page, we have then this shop part, where it shows then all the items. On the mobile phone, it looks different again. And as I said, then on Facebook itself, you can tag products and so on. So short answer, yes, you need it, else it won't help you. And if you have an Etsy store, I would really recommend it to also be engaged on social media, because if you think about it, on Etsy, the only way to get more people through Etsy is with ads and through SEO optimization. So basically through the search of Etsy. But then you're again limited, right? And social media in general is another way to get more traffic to your Etsy shop. For example, with this case, with this customer, we get basically 50% from social media and 50% from Etsy itself. So I would really recommend to start using social media, and of course then also to use this Facebook shop. Did I answer the question? Okay. And again, if okay, so we have another question. So after having this Etsy connector, I only have to add the products in Etsy and they will automatically be available on Facebook and Insta. Yes, basically what the integration does is getting rid of the work to create the items on Facebook. It basically creates all the items for you. You don't have to do anything. You just have to set it up once, as shown in the video, and that's it. Also, of course, all this stuff that I showed today, we are also a service company. So if you want us to do it, that's also possible. Just check our website and you will see all the information. But as I said, I will also add all this stuff as videos on YouTube. So if you're a little bit, if you have a bit of patience and you go through the video, you will be able to do it yourself. The website, I will link it. So for the Etsy connector, this is the website. And if you want to know more information about us, then this is our company page. As I said, you will get all the information then as an email. And again, if any other question comes up about this topic, you can also just send us an email. That's no problem. Yes, that's a good input. So basically, if you have then the Facebook shop, when you click on buy, it will redirect you to Etsy. So the buying process is done through Etsy and not directly on Facebook. That, as I said, is only possible in the US. Okay. If you have more questions, shoot away. And else, I wish you a nice day. Okay, thank you for everyone attending. As I said, just follow us on YouTube and see you next time. Bye-bye.